Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Paul. We are here live, okay, with a special treat straight from Rancho Cucamonga. We have Dina Anderson. Welcome to the show, Dina.
Thanks, Rick.
See that audience? They love you already. See that? It's awesome.
Yeah, so many.
All right.
I
Well,
can't say
let's
thanks,
start.
Mom, but
Yeah, thanks, Mom. There you go, right? Like you're on
yeah.
TV. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a funny skit with, I can't think of the comedians. But anyway, let's get into it. Tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this wonderful thing called real estate, and so forth.
Okay, well, so kind of to start off with real estate, I got my license in 2021, but my background goes further than that. I have a bachelor's degree in finance, and I worked in consumer finance, one of the largest consumer finance companies at the time, for about 10 years and managed top producing branches and many employees. And worked closely along real estate lending and transactions. But took a step away from the marketplace for a bit to raise our twins. And along that way, I helped my husband run his company. He's a mortgage broker. So it didn't really feel like I left the marketplace, the business world, so to speak. But, when my kids were young, I followed them everywhere they went and volunteered in all the places and spaces and dove into, PTA board positions and Little League team mom and all that kind of stuff, and just dove into the community with my kids. And then getting back to real estate when they were a little bit older and didn't need so much of me, I got my license and interviewed with Berkshire Hathaway, and here I am.
Right. And now they're both out of school. One of them's working in the military and the other one's getting her real estate license, which is so exciting for you. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's good for everybody to know that your twins, one's a boy and one's a girl. So when you say PTA and sports, those were two totally different directions,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. In every sense of the word. But it was, I always say that being a mom is the toughest job I'll ever love. And, and it was, and it still is, ups and downs and all around. But I was really blessed to be able to stay home with them and, contribute in the community and really get connected in a lot deeper way than not having kids before that. But yeah, and Berkshire Hathaway has been great. I interviewed with several brokerages before I decided to land here, and I interviewed with some brokerages, but I also talked to several colleagues in the industry that I respected and still do. But Berkshire Hathaway stood out to me because of their values, the brand, and the tools. And my broker manager, Brock Woobery's been very helpful in helping me get started and being a great resource for me. These one-on-one coachings with you, Rick, and training's been instrumental in my growth. So thank you. Yeah.
My pleasure. We love having you. And as I was telling you the other day, if everybody treated the business like you, we would have a different balance sheet at the end of every year because you are doing, and you came out of the gate hot too. That's one of the reasons I love working with you is you ask questions like, okay, what do I need to do here? How do I do this? So you're all about getting it done. And I didn't know your degree was finance. That makes a lot of sense now too, though.
Yeah. I wanted to be somewhere in that realm, but not so much the accounting world. But so I wanted to have some kind of business background in finance. I'm a numbers person, but serving people is also a big part of who I am. So I feel like real estate is kind of like the intersection of community, family, and serving. And so I get to help people make moves and be a part of those transitions in their lives, and I feel really blessed to be, be able to help people in that regard.
Awesome, yeah, and I think we should mention Brock. I think Brock does a great job there too with the agents. I think he's a wonderful. We've been working together now, Brock and I think for about 10 years is when we acquired, and that was such a great office even before too. So. Now that it's yeah, and I agree with you. I was going to say I agree with you. I've been in real estate for 41 years, and the Berkshire Hathaway brand. Even though I'm a company guy, I know you think I'm supposed to say this, but I actually believe it that we are the best brand. And as a matter of fact, that was my video this morning. Be the brand, within the brand like you do. Look at you.
Mhm,
You're
mhm.
even wearing the right colors today, Dina. Woo!
Thanks. It's a good color, but yes, that was something that attracted me too. So, but you're right. No, in this Berkshire branch here in Rancho Cucamonga, it's been a top listing branch in the community for a very long time. And when I interviewed with Brockett, it just felt like a good fit. And when I started, I did, like you said, I did all the things that I needed to do. I came into the office every day, went to the meetings, did the training, learned the contracts, asked questions, surrounded myself with other um, agents, and assisted where I could, and hosted open houses for strong agents and learned from the best. And there are a lot of amazing agents in this particular branch and in our community. So yeah, it's
Yes.
been really great.
And I know I love your humility too, and I feel necessary to mention it for you that with I think it was your third year you were number one in the office too. So as an individual agent, so that's pretty damn good. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
All
Yeah.
right. So you know what? So they want to hear. I mean, this is why we do these Facebook Lives for top producers like yourself. We want to hear. So how do you do this? Like, like what's your daily schedule? What kind of lead sources do you work? Are you into social media? Give them an idea of how you do this because I know you do a little of everything, which I think is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, when I first started, I was lucky enough to dive right in. I had a buyer client initially that in a very competitive and low inventory market, and so getting a couple buyers into contract and homes at that period of time was a big confidence booster for me. I gained a lot of confidence in how to negotiate for my clients, advocate, and in a very challenging market. So that really helped me from the very beginning, but diving into all of the training and doing the things. And like you said, asking questions and putting myself out there. Social media is huge, still continues to be, and I still learn every day. I'm learning something new and trying to implement some new thing, but I can't say enough on how much social media really propelled my business. When I first started, I was courageous. I had to be on social media anyways. I have kids in a digital world, so it's something I had to do. And so I documented my journey to, entering the marketplace again, and showing people what I was doing. And that led to my first couple of buyers, and then took a little time off after losing my dad and getting my mom settled. But had within my first year, I had my first listing because some dear friends trusted me to sell their $1 million home. And I think that was not just because we had a relationship, but because they saw what I was doing on a regular basis, and how I was advocating for my clients, and what my business MO was. And so I learned from that particular transaction. I mean, it changed the trajectory of my business, and literally helped me. It transcended into several sides and additional listings just from that one listing. So it really just took my business to a new level. And I learned how powerful it is to list strategically and market well. So those two things, like starting in the beginning and having a couple buyers in a very competitive market, learning that really helped me. And also on the listing side, how to do things strategically for my clients and represent them well and market them well so that I can add value. So doing those things and on social media really is, hands down, have to do social media.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and in
it's
your
a
videos too, you can tell you have a little fun. You even involve your husband now and then. I like the one where you guys were dancing at a open
yeah.
house. He must love you to be dancing on social
I
media at an open house. I
yeah, I keep trying to
love
reel them in. No
it.
pun
Yeah.
intended,
Uh,
real. Yeah.
ooh, I like that. I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but what I agree with you. The content that you have when you take listings, right? You can do the just listed, put on the market, open house. I know you even knocked a few neighbors and passed out a few flyers. So you did not only the boots on the ground, but you do the digital and you also do the social media. And that harmony of everything together is what creates really good results for you, doesn't it?
it really does. It helps with the visibility of my client's property, which is ultimately the goal is to sell the property or help them find properties in buyer situations. But marketing listings is you have to be strategic, and you have to do all the things like you said. Social media has to be a big part of it, and then all the other things: door knocking, inviting neighbors, because you want, obviously we want to be able to sell the home, and also I want to be able to market myself because I know my value. I know what I can offer my clients, and I want to be able to help as many people as I can. And I feel so blessed to be able to do such um, rewarding work for my clients.
I love that. It is rewarding too, isn't it? When you're helping, I've always, like, I'm doing success series this week, and I'll tell people when I got in the business, I was 20 years old. My first full time year, I was 20. There was nobody
Mhm.
my market that was my age, and I just looked at it as such an awesome job. People's number one asset, their number one tax deduction. A lot of people retire. That's their retirement fund too, right? It's their biggest asset that most people on the planet will own, and in our country, because homeownership is possible, like not so in other countries, it makes it the American dream, right? And it's such an awesome job that you have to take your fiduciary responsibility completely serious, right?
100%. That's one of the things I wanted to bring up about, taking that part of it seriously, advocating for your client, protecting them, and doing all the things that we need to do to support them during this transition. Whether it's buying, I mean, love first time home buyers. I mean, it's the best thing to get somebody into a home for the very first time. And I mean, I remember the first time we bought a house, and or had a rental property. But and then also, transitions for people. I learned also walking through significant personal losses in my life in the last few years. I've realized additionally, real estate is not always just about the property. It's about transitions, trust, and advocacy. So I use that as my that's my what I use to that propels me in serving my clients, because I know that a lot of the times it's because of a transition, a life event, whether it's birth, somebody passing, or, kids going off to college. And it's being a part of somebody's life, and those moments is so gratifying. And yeah, I just feel like it's such a rewarding job in a lot of
Yes,
ways,
it
of
is
course.
too. It is too, and especially when you're taking it as seriously as you are too. I also think that they ought to hear. You mentioned, the toughest job you've ever loved was being a mom, and you still are a mom, obviously. But I also think with all the activities, PTA and all the different things you did, sports with your kids, that they need to hear that when you started doing social media consistently, people that you dealt with back then started reaching out to you, didn't they?
Absolutely. I had people that I hadn't talked to in a number of years reach out, and for example, somebody saw a reel and they were thinking, okay, I need a sign, give me a sign of what I'm supposed to do. And my reel pops up, and it's, looking for a sign. And I mean, something as simple and silly as that. And it was happened to be a pan of my sold sign on a property I just closed for a client. And she called me up and said, I'm ready to sell my house, and, would you be my agent? Oh, of course, but I hadn't heard from that person in such a long time. So yes, social media is huge. And just presenting yourself, being visible, reminding people. I've heard the saying, don't be a secret agent. And social media has
Hmm.
been a huge impetus to me, having contact with people that I haven't had in a long time. So what other way can you really do that for
Well,
free?
it's so true. Well, and there you go. I started the business in 1985, and back then, to get the coverage that you're getting right now for free, I would have had to buy bus benches, billboards,
Yeah.
newspapers, TV, right? And you can get, and isn't it amazing that when they see you on video, when you actually go to see them, they treat you differently. They treat you with more respect, because people know, first off, social media, TV, cable, that's all the same to people today. If whether they watch you on the little screen, the big screen, whatever, they're still treating you the same way, right? And I think most people intuitively know, because you know and I know we work with real estate agents. How many of them are actually doing reels consistently and taking advantage of social media? Very few. So when you're being proactive, like you are, knocking on the neighbors, inviting them to your open house, telling them about your new listing, you're doing social media to get a different group of people. That combination, and I also believe it has a karmic effect, really helps business come your way, doesn't it?
It does. Like I said, that first listing that I had literally led to multiple transactions immediately following in an area. So people were able to see what I did. Honestly, a neighbor reached out and said, "Hey, I saw what you did with that home. It sold so fast and well. So can you help me sell my house?" And things like that. When it doesn't have to be the literal door knocking, on the street, but it can be. But also door knocking on social media is, hey, I'm here. This is what I'm doing, and documenting that journey has been really helpful for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And you can tell you have fun doing it. You can tell you enjoy your job. You're energetic. You're enthusiastic. As a matter of fact, you were just invited to the elite group. Tell them a little about that. Was that fun for you?
It was amazing. Yes. Being surrounded by so many like-minded agents, it's really, it's humbling, but also just inspiring being surrounded with so many agents and having such elevated conversations and people being able to share. When I first started in the business, well, selling real estate full time, I would reach out to strong agents and ask questions and offer to help and want to have conversations about different scenarios. And I was fortunate, like I said, I know it doesn't always work that way for agents, but I was fortunate to have some clients early on, and my business just started propelling. And but having the conversations with people at elevated levels like that, it was really remarkable, and great conversations, but connections. So with other agents outside of our local area is awesome. I
Yeah.
just had a client that moved from Rancho Cucamonga to Oregon. I referred them to one of the agents that I had known already, but was also part of the elite team. And yeah, so I know people in a lot of places that I can recommend for my clients, not just here in Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga. It's like the best name for a town, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I
It's an
was in a
awesome name.
cartoon too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's why most
So
people, I never knew it was Rancho Cucamonga until I always just thought it was Rancho. Everybody just calls it Rancho, but it's
yeah.
Rancho Cucamonga,
And I
which
think
is
a
a,
lot of people do that with whatever rancho city they live in. But yes,
yeah.
for us locals, we call it rancho. But Rancho Cucamonga is incorporated from three original cities: Cucamonga, Alta Loma, and Etiwanda. And so it was then incorporated, and now we've been Rancho Cucamonga. But yeah, and hey, I've been here since elementary school. I was raised here, developed friendships here, and raised our kids here. And now I'm so blessed to be able to help families make major moves to and from Rancho Cucamonga. It's quite an honor.
It is a great place, a great little place of the planet, and that Rancho Cucamonga, where it's located, location wise, it's it's just a nice little city. So tell them, okay. So now, we come to my favorite part, which is there's somebody out there, they want to do better, they want to take their business to the next level, or they just want to come out of the gate hot as a newer agent. What would be the three most important things you tell them to focus on?
And these are the things that I felt were important when I first started, and they still ring true today. First is put people first. Um, you know, take your fiduciary responsibility seriously and advocate for your client. Have those hard conversations. Being an agent means having difficult conversations with your client, with other agents. But if you put your client first, then the business will take care of itself. Number two would be immerse yourself and master your craft. So immerse yourself, get into the office. So like I did every day, literally showed up every single day, sat outside Brock's office and asked questions all day long, and probably bugged the heck out of him. But do that, immerse yourself, get involved with any kind of trainings, coaching. The one-on-one coaching with you, Rick, has been amazing.
Thank
Know the
you.
contracts, read the contracts. study them, and then get involved with, strong agents. Be a support to somebody, just so you can learn. The faster you get in the business and doing it, the quicker you'll learn. And then third, I would say last but absolutely not least, should be number one is make yourself visible, and that's social media. Just have to be courageous and put yourself out there. And I'm still learning too.
Vulnerable.
I mean,
That's the
even
word.
yeah, yeah, we are. And, I feel like looking back on it, I'm entering my 5th year here. But in the very beginning, it was kind of raw footage of, hey, here I am on a home inspection, documenting what I'm doing. But it really does help, and it just makes you vulnerable. And, people appreciate authenticity. And so, yeah, have a little fun with it, but also, use it to help my clients get more visibility on their property. So it's huge. I've had successes with that as well, listing a property and marketing it on social media, and somebody reaching out to me in my direct messages and saying, hey, I'd like to come see that house. Can I come tomorrow? And make an appointment with them, and ended up being, ended up representing that client, and they purchased the home. And yeah, just, it's very powerful. So be courageous.
Be courageous, and it's true, because it's not easy to take, one of the things, you have kids too, right? One of the things when I became many moons ago, when I became a parent, I said to myself, we are not going through a McDonald's drive-through, right? Well, that didn't last long, but then I said, I will never use the selfie camera on my phone. Well, that has gone away too, right? So it's not easy to get on the selfie camera, right? But if you do, like what you just mentioned, not only does it promote the property that you're trying to sell, but you also get buyers from it, and then your whole feed gets to see, wow, look what Dina Anderson does to sell properties. I want to use her, right? So it does so many things for you. It doesn't replace the grassroots conversation, put people first, it doesn't replace that, but it definitely adds to it if you show them what you're doing.
It's all about layers, right? Adding more layers to your business. And, but yeah, it's just, ultimately for me, it's about, how many people can I help? I honestly, genuinely love my job. I feel like it's a privilege to be able to help people during this time of transition for them, whether it's, a positive thing that they're moving, or, that they're trying to buy their first home, or, they've suffered a loss and need to make a transition. But to be a part of people's lives like that is truly an honor. And I want to do more of that. It's just, it's exciting. I love it.
It definitely is invigorating, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah, you drive home and you're thinking, wow, that was an incredible day today. I got a lot done. I helped people out. And the other thing is, and this is going to sound maybe a little arrogant, is as an agent now going into your 5th year, you intuitively know that if they get to use you, it's going to go way better than if they use some of your competition. Right?
I appreciate you saying that, but I do feel that way. I feel like, not everybody's going to choose me, and that's okay. People make mistakes. I'm being facetious, but honestly, I know my value, and I know that I'm all in for my clients. And so when people put their faith and their trust in me, then, I take that responsibility seriously and do everything I can, pull out all the stops, and I'm willing to have the hard conversations and, be strategic with them and helping them, have their best outcome. And ultimately that's what they want. So, I've been blessed to have a lot of experience with, doing that for my clients. And so I know what my value is, and I, love to be able to share that with more people. So that's my goal.
Awesome. Well, there's the perfect place to end. We're at time anyway. So I just want to say, awesome job. Thank you very much for taking your time out today, Dina. I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. Really appreciate it. You're the best. And, if you're in Rancho Cucamonga and you need some help, call Dina Anderson.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rick. It's always a blessing to be able to talk to you too. I appreciate our one-on-ones a lot. Yeah.
I appreciate you too. You're the best. Keep it rocking. Bye, everybody. Bye, Dina. Thank you.
All right. You keep it rocking too. Thanks.
I will. All right.
Bye.
Thanks.